Every one of these people that I've recorded, you've gotten to hear their excuses. Maybe they're valid reasons, maybe they're not. But the fact is, if they'd have spoken up, written those things down, gone into court, if they'd have documented a goddamn thing, like Brandon, obviously I was telling the truth. Every one of those people, all of them, every goddamn one. Brandon, he wasn't drunk. He wasn't on heroin. He wasn't on methamphetamines. Most of the guys I know who are have girlfriends. Most of the guys I know who aren't. Holy crap, man, I'm going to tell you. I don't like the world we're living in. If good people worked half as hard as, well, the not so good people work, things would be different. You got to work smart, not hard. Ted Bollinger is a risk, not just to myself and my family, but also to his own. I have documentation from nearly every one of them, and the documentation that I don't have from the few that I didn't get it from, well, some of it's on flash drives. Miss Kayla Trujillo has one of those flash drives. So does Molly Smith. So there's a copy in the state of Colorado. There is a copy in Nebraska. Miss Trujillo, just like everyone else, was so busy telling me about all the stuff that they're going through. All right, I get that. I get that you guys have problems too. But that's not what the police wrote down. And you see how each of these people, from Aaron Cockerham forward, well, even quite a few people before that, they claimed that they tried to go to the police. Now, I didn't see it. I didn't see them go to the police. I heard them tell me about it. Many of them months after they supposedly did so. If you really went to the police, why didn't you say so? It's difficult to make the right decisions when people are lying to you and manipulating. With this whole situation, it shouldn't have been fucking assholes like Tim Beeson and pieces of shit like that. All of these people are doing what they're telling Natalie to do is not to be an adult about it. None of them are being adult about it. When it resulted in Natalie being fucking dead, Alicia and Maddie Boa should have both fucking come forward. God damn. Instead, I gotta go to my predators, and not only my predators, but Natalie's predators to try to get help. And they came to me first, each and every one of them. After Natalie disappeared, Alicia got a hold of me first. And she kept on playing fucking head games, her and her father. If there's one thing that should be obvious to fucking everybody, it's that Ted Bollinger is a dangerous fucking man. Let's pull up us a news article here. I'm going to type the words Ted Bollinger, Kansas. I'm going to give you all Ah, here's one right here. It's on my birthday. I don't have good birthdays. Here's the one about Ted Bollinger. Paste. We're here in the live chat. Um, Blackwell, a pursuit that started in Kay County Friday. Mind you, this is Natalie Bollinger, her father, and her twin sister in this story. This is my birthday 2 years ago. October 20th, 2019 is when the article was written. It was 2 days after the incident. Blackwell, a pursuit that started in Kay County Friday evening, ended in Kansas with a New Mexico man arrested. Ted Gene Bollinger, 39, was arrested by the Kansas Highway Patrol and booked in the Sumner County Detention Center on charges of flee or attempt to elude possession of controlled substance and no drug stamp payment for marijuana. Marijuana is not the major fucking problem in this case, though. The pursuit began at 8:20 p.m. when a Kay County deputy attempted to stop a gray Ford pickup on Interstate 35 near Highway 60 for speeding. The vehicle was reportedly traveling at 106 miles per hour. The pursuit passed mile marker 217 at 107 miles per hour. Blackwell police was contacted, but it was too late for officers to deploy spike strips. The truck reportedly drove on the shoulder of the highway, passing a semi. Sumner County, Kansas authorities were contacted at 8:28 p.m. Blackwell police advised the driver of the truck called 911 and advised he had 3 kids in the vehicle and that he was going to start throwing them out if authorities didn't back off. It was later confirmed that no children were in the vehicle. The pursuit traveled into Kansas at speeds over 100 miles per hour, with Blackwell police and deputies in pursuit at 8:39 p.m. Kansas Turnpike Authority troopers attempted spike strips just north of mile marker 17. Kansas authorities joined the pursuit as it traveled north from the toll plaza. Kansas County units had to stop fuel as KTA and Kansas Highway Patrol units continued with Mulvane units monitoring. At 9:09 p.m., KHP advised the pursuit was heading toward Hayesville. Later, Kansas authorities identified the driver as Bollinger. Kansas authorities terminated the pursuit in Wichita near 44th and Hydraulic, and at 10:14 p.m. they reported Bollinger was booked in the Sumner County Jail and a passenger was taken to a hospital. Bollinger is being held on $15,000 bond. Kay County Sheriff Steve Kelly said the full report from Kansas. Hey, Kelly, that's her mom's last name. Huh. Um, will be sent to Kay County later this week, and that he believes Bollinger will be extradited back to Kay County after he faces charges in Kansas. There was a bit more to it. There's a few articles about it. They ran him off the road, and that's why his daughter was taken to the hospital. Let's see. Here's another one. Oh, here's one that's actually part of the reason that this is important. So we'll go to this one. It's Web Sleuth, so it's probably not going to be that fucking great, but at least it shows the found. I was up at Jamie Curtis's in Rapid City, South Dakota when she went missing. I was actually literally en route. Flamey typed, "Hey, sexy." I'm not. Please don't. I'm not sexy. I don't want to be called that. All right. State of Oklahoma versus Bollinger, Ted Jean. 12/19/2019. Amount owed $868.51 as of 12/4/2020, 6:46 p.m. One endangering other while eluding police officer, AFC 2 plus, driving while license canceled, suspended, revoked, MIS, felony count, what's the description? Let's see, another warrant issued, initial appearance, docket, bond forfeiture, um, oh, bond issued, failure to appear. Let's see. Wow, it's looking like they got a lot of stuff they're charging him with. But he was supposed to apparently plead guilty in exchange for 5 or 6 much bigger felonies to be dropped. What else has Ted Bollinger been up to? All right. Well, it looks like trying to dig through this, it's difficult. Um, oh, this is interesting. There's quite a few of these. This is a website I literally just found. It's by Rebecca Schroeder. I have no idea what it said. It says someone was stalking Natalie Bollinger. Lots of people were. I'm actually not going to read this. I'm going to let you guys read it. Thing is, it should have been between myself and the Bollingers from the very beginning. That would have been the adult thing to do. Not for a bunch of fucking druggy assholes to fucking harass, threaten, and fucking assault a disabled person over the words of fucking druggies. I mean, the things I was being assaulted over weren't even the things that Natalie fucking said. I'm going to give you a link to Natalie's webpage here. I get on here, posts entirely about me, try to defend myself here, show the evidence here. Not always. People don't like the fact that I'm still speaking up. After what I've been through and after all of the people that I've seen that are fucking corpses now. I mean, holy shit. If I had been listened to before Natalie was killed, Natalie would still be alive. A lot of people would still be alive. All these people that I went to for help, the police said I never tried to get help. I was going to therapists. I was going to court appointments. I was going to see public pretenders, but because I'm smart, I was denied the rights of a disabled person. But because of my disabilities, I was denied the rights of everyone else. I tried to tell everyone that's what was going to happen. I've been speaking out about this for years. I am not the only fucking victim. Most of those incarcerated were homeless before incarceration. Most of the homeless were in foster care before being dropped off at 18 with nothing. Most. You guys got no fucking clue. You tell us we wanted it, needed it, chose it, or deserved it. You tell us, oh, well, as soon as you're 18, you don't have any more excuses. You're out of your parents' house. Fuck, I was out of my parents' house well before I was 18. I was sneaking into my parents' house, not my parents' house, my mother's house, I'm sorry. I was sneaking into my mom's house with fucking food for my little brother and sister, for shit's sake. Why do most of those foster kids, why do they end up there? Shit fucking sucks at home. Shit sucks at home, so you put them in the foster care system and they're gonna be victimized. Who fucking cares about them? Their parents are the only people who can do a goddamn thing and they don't fucking care. They're killing people. God damn it. Ted Bollinger got busted a few times since Natalie died 4 different times with methamphetamines. There's, I want to say, 5 or 6 articles about Ted Bollinger's shit. There's a lot of articles about me. Holy fuck. All of them just showing the one side, just painting the one side. I don't try to overwhelm people. I send them just a little bit of evidence at a time so they don't get overwhelmed. And even then, they get overwhelmed, or they say, I haven't had time to go through it. All these folks saying you should get a hold of Rob Gavigan. I have. He has not followed through. That is not my fault. People wanted to pretend that because I'm an asshole to people who abuse me, that it makes me an evil person and that I'm gonna fucking be the next goddamn Unabomber. I'm gonna be the next Jack the Ripper. God damn it. Growing up in the system with everybody else who went through that shit too, and nobody fucking cared about any of us. And you know, it wasn't about getting a fucking apology. It's not about putting all of the fucked up shit that I do onto somebody else. I know the narrative. I also admitted everything that I fucking did wrong. That's one thing that nobody wants to pay attention to. Every single thing that has been used against me, I fucking admitted to it, or it wouldn't have ever been able to be used against me. I made sure it was public. I made sure that unlike these assholes who are sending me fucking stalky ass creepy messages telling me they're gonna kill me and my fucking family, And then when I post up screenshots of that, I get banned for 30 fucking days. And all these people, you've heard them, a great many of them saying, hey, you know, you're the most honest person I know. Hey, yeah, Sean, you saved my life. Why didn't you come forward? That's the question. With all of these people that I recorded and I saved those screenshots of our conversations, I did it for a reason. No matter what, the cops were not going to listen to me. They had too much invested in it, too much in hiding it. I told you I had to stay with fucking drug dealers. I did. I didn't have anywhere else to fucking go. I was going to the people I was supposed to go to for help. I was going to the Colorado Coalition of the Homeless. I was going to see Jeff Ritter. After Natalie died, each of these people all fucking hid behind others. And then I got people who tell me, oh, well, you need to not talk to this person or you need to not talk to that person. Fuck you. A lot of those people you told me not to talk to told me they don't know where the fuck you got that from. And then later on, they get a hold of me and they're like, yeah, Sean, that was my brother. He's just being overprotective. He saw the news and he fucking wants to lynch you, basically. Like, you know, that's not my fucking fault. That's not my decision. When you slander somebody's name the way that my name was slandered, like, holy fuck, how many people do you think saw those videos? One of those videos alone that I posted before Natalie was killed got 94,000 views. And everything that I got to see on the internet about me was just people would ignore all of the stuff that I was saying and go to the part where I was fucking screaming at the top of my lungs for fucking help. And then everything they're trying to say, it's all about Natalie. It wasn't all about Natalie. This entire fucking country is a rape society, and it's holy shit, it's disgusting. Meanwhile, it's not good men who are letting these predators get away. It's the people you're supposed to go to for help and the victims themselves. And who is it that is taking the fucking punishment? Good people who know what it's actually like. And people want to pretend that because I'm autistic, that I am somehow mentally fucking retarded and incapable of understanding or comprehending any of you, or your wants, needs, desires, or fucking motives. People wanted to pretend that I was schizophrenic. You can see the news articles. You can see all these web sleuth fucking nut jobs who are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this as a fucking college report. But nobody ever collects any of the shit that I got. I try to send it out, but nobody replies. People tell me all their excuses. Hey man, I don't know how to do this computer stuff. I'm like, dude, I get treated like it's an excuse if I say that. I send it to you. You said if I sent it, you'd look. Have you looked at it? No, I haven't. Why not? Well, I haven't had time. Well, at least you know how to look at it. You just haven't had time. But meanwhile, you've had plenty of time to fucking text with me for fucking days and days and days and days. I bet instead of fucking texting with me, which takes way fucking longer, you talk to me. I'll tell you where to find the evidence and where to fucking look. But without anybody going with me, I wasn't allowed to make the report against those officers. I was not taken seriously at any point in time. I can still show evidence of most of the shit that the Bollingers were up to. And the people that were threatening my lives, I can show you that they were friends with the Bollingers and in correspondence with the Bollingers. And then the police, they wanted to believe their fucking story. These are the fucking monsters. And all the monsters have to do is say, he's the monster, and it's okay. Nobody is going to fucking look at this evidence. Nobody is going to try to understand the fucking hell that I go through every goddamn day. The dude who lives here, he's not a bad person. He's fucking depressed as shit. His ex is a fucking psycho goddamn nut job. That's not his fault. He's always worried that I might think he's trying to take advantage of me. I'm like, dude, you're one of the few people that doesn't. But the other thing is he's got a place. He can decide what's allowed to be here and what's not. Anytime that he has an issue with his ex, it does put me being here or my thing is being here in jeopardy because she's a fucking nut job. And then there's the whole fucking situation with she doesn't care about the effects for me or for her ex or for her children. And every time that she'd come over drunk, acting like that, fucking being a goddamn, an actual fucking stalker, an actual psycho. I'm like, dude, why don't you call the fucking cops? There was a couple of times where he's telling me, yeah, dude, I was fucking this close to calling the cops. I'm like, why didn't you? He said, well, because I'm the dude. I don't want to get fucking arrested for getting beaten up. That's not exactly his wording, but close to fucking enough. Right now, what he's worried about is his kids, first and fucking foremost. God bless him. He's doing everything he fucking can. Fuck, I mean, anybody in western Nebraska who wants somebody who knows at least a little bit about construction, this dude has done a little bit of everything. He may not have done a lot of each of them, but at least he knows what he's doing. If he's got some bad fucking habits, it won't take long to fucking wring him out of him. He's still pretty young yet. He's got a lot of experience at some of the stuff he's got experience at. Most of it's construction experience. They tell him he's got to get a job by the end of the month, like a real, actual full time job, or he doesn't get to have visitation with his kids. He's not the one that fucking screwed up and got them taken away. It's not his fucking fault that his ex is a fucking nut job. He shouldn't have to pay the fucking consequences, and I shouldn't have to pay the consequences. But as Sheriff Scott Costa said, that's not fair. Yeah, he didn't like it. He didn't like it when I did to him what he was doing to me. He said, that's not fair. You're damn right it's not fair. You know, it's not fair even more than that is that my predators have badges they can hide behind. They can manipulate the situation by lying. You see how he tried to manipulate the situation with the lady from Department of Health and Human Services. When I was trying to explain to her the situation, instead of me explaining the situation, he wanted to interrupt and say, because you were yelling. Motherfucker, I didn't yell at you. You can ask Leslie Paul what it sounds like when I fucking yell. I got on the phone with her when I was trying to get a hold of the state patrol to make them come down. They don't do shit. They go, all right, he's mentally ill. Fuck it. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. It is okay to victimize people as long as nobody cares. It is okay to victimize the mentally ill as long as nobody cares. It is okay to victimize the homeless as long as nobody cares. It's okay to victimize black people as long as nobody cares. That's the lesson we're teaching. We also teach that any time a white person sticks up for themselves, they must be racist. What the hell is that about? I was going through the same hell that Elijah McClain went through. Their excuse for the way that the police treated Elijah McClain was that Elijah McClain didn't tell them he was autistic. That's the part with all those body cameras that was important. You ever wonder why I have multiple angles of the recordings of the assault by Waylon Lolatai, but I have 0 recordings from the body cameras? It's because you need help doing that. You need an attorney. Everybody thinks that there's pro bono attorneys. No fucking attorney actually gives a shit about the goddamn homeless. Ted Bollinger getting busted in Colorado, and when he had his court dates, I definitely saved screenshots of that. See, I should, at this point, anytime that Ted moves, anytime that Ted is released, I should be notified for my own safety. Alicia Bollinger should be notified for her safety. Her mother, both of her stepmothers, and all of her siblings should be notified for their safety. Thing is, I didn't stalk Natalie. I harassed her to ask these people to stop stalking me, to stop threatening me, to stop harassing me. Go to my channel. I'm going to show you what I was doing while Natalie Bollinger, or while Alicia Bollinger was in Kansas. One of Natalie and Alicia's friends who knew about the prostitution and the sex stuff and everything like that with Ted and his daughters. His name is Bobby Forrest. I'm going to go to my channel and I'm going to start pulling videos that are conversations with witnesses. I've done this so many times before, and I tell y'all to go back through my videos, but I get overwhelmed. I have to step away from it. It's traumatic. There's also the fact that I have to take care of it because it does have such a great effect on my life. I can't take care of myself. I can't defend myself. I'm not allowed. And I'm also not capable. Why doesn't anybody understand that? I've shown you guys plenty of proof of how dangerous these people are, but it doesn't seem to matter. The police, with all the fucked up shit they did, they had to charge me with a felony because of the fucked up shit that they had done in Colorado over Natalie's case. This is before her killer was found. In each and every one of these cases, I asked for somebody to be there and present to bear witness. I asked for these situations to be recorded. At this point, it's got to be asked why so much time and effort and taxpayer dollars were spent to prevent the American public from seeing that body camera footage. Why was so much done to prevent that body camera footage from being shown in court? Why were those officers allowed to commit so many crimes? It's because they told the right lie. The words mentally ill. If you ask an officer, hey, that guy came up to you and said, or that woman, let's say it's a woman. It could be man or woman, it doesn't really matter. Let's say they come up to you and say, I was raped, I need your help. And the officer doesn't help them, blows them off, almost halfway pretends to be listening, but really isn't. That's a pretty fucked up thing to do, isn't it? Now, let's say they go to court and the judge says, why didn't you listen to that person about being raped? And that officer says, because they're black. That's not going to fucking fly. Now, let's change this scenario a little bit. Let's change the words to mentally ill. That could be a black person. It could be a white person. It could be an immigrant. It could be somebody who was born here, male, female. Doesn't fucking matter. It's a title. So you've tried to go to the officers a few times and you keep getting blown off, and you go there hysterical because you're being threatened and harassed and they're threatening to kill your family. And the officers do nothing. But you know what? All the officers got to do in court is say, the judge says, well, why didn't you do anything about this? And they say, oh, well, he's mentally ill. Boom! No problem. All right, fine. We know how to fix this. You, mentally ill boy. Yeah, you need to go back to your fucking cage. You're an animal. You deserve this. You tell me about how great our justice system is, and it's not. When you're a homeless person, there's no such thing as justice when you are called mentally ill. The only way that you will get justice is if someone fucking cares. Not to do something eventually. And that's what we get. Natalie was a pretty girl. She got help immediately. And she was the predator. She started all of this just by telling one little fucking lie. I wrote down that I wasn't trying to get help. I have posted up here videos where I'm showing you hundreds of cards of police officers I've spoken with. I am showing you dozens of cards of therapy appointments I have gone to. In Colorado, at the Colorado Coalition of the Homeless. Here in Nebraska at Corunna Counseling. Alicia Bollinger, Natalie Bollinger, and Maddie Bowitt. It would have only taken one of them to say, hey, you know what? It's fucked up that Sean is going through this. He didn't fucking do this shit. Fucking leave him alone, please. Could you ask those guys to leave Sean alone? But that's not what girls do when they do something wrong. They're all taught the same thing. Play victim. Play fucking victim. You have a vagina. Use it. You have no idea how many times I have heard women tell their daughters that. Holy shit. Go to my channel. This is from a year ago. This is just me talking. And I'm sorry about that. This is me. I was trying to get help from him at the time, and we were trying to find Alicia because she had disappeared again. I mean, it was fuck, dude. It wasn't no good at all. Let's see. Copy link address. This one is an actual conversation between myself and Bobby. You see the conversations and texting. He's as full of shit as the rest of them. Holy hell. Alright. See. Copy link address. Here's another conversation with Bobby. Shit that he should have come forward. He just didn't have time. His life was too fucking busy, too fucking stressful. Of course, every time it come time to keep his word, he had some fucking excuse why he couldn't. I got them excuses saved too. I don't like being bullshitted. The tactics I eventually picked up, I learned. I learned from my predators as well as from many of these people who were just completely full of shit. If we make a deal and I keep my end of the bargain, you don't keep yours, bargain's off, bud. It just sucks for me because I did my part. This right here, this is from Brett Roloff's, by the way. That's up there in Bristol, Virginia. There's quite a few with him up there. This one is when they left their stash at the house, right out in the open on the table. Um, there's a bunch of stuff here with my public pretenders too. This one right here. After I left Virginia, I totally thought that Natalie was still in Virginia. Moose had been asking me to come see him, and I was telling him no. I don't want to be that close to Natalie or their family. I don't want them to be afraid of me. This is at the bathroom, actually, in Starbucks, Cheyenne, Wyoming. That's Brett Roloff. And I told these stories, and everybody wanted to call me a liar. It took me years to get a hold of a lot of those people because of their personal problems, because of my personal problems, because of everything that was being done to prevent me from communicating with them. The things that were done to prevent me from having resources. Like every step of the way, everything that could have possibly fucking gone wrong went wrong. People were trying to send me money in the jail so I could use the phone. Magically, no money showed up until after it was too late. You know how fucked up that is? And you look at all these things, none of these things are my fault. None of the things that were done to prevent me from getting the help that I needed were my fault. It wasn't my fault that my rights were denied. It was not my fault that the news made me a fucking target all over the world. It is not my fucking fault that police chose to harm me. There's a woman named Samantha Danielle. See, Samantha D. Copy link address. This one right here is a conversation with another of Natalie and Alicia's former friends. All right. Bobby got a hold of me to tell me that Alicia was missing. This one is after I'd been able to get somewhere and actually sit down and make something to try to get some help. Bobby had asked me to. He got a hold of me and said Alicia's missing again. There's another one that I had made. I was at the fucking bus stop. It was fucking cold as shit. It sucked. I don't even know how to tell you how much it sucked. I mean, it was miserable. It was pretty well snowing sideways. It was, you can see that in that video. Matter of fact, it was fucking cold. Here's another one. I was scared shitless. The same thing had happened to her, you know? Uh, we're looking in my videos, or at least we should be. Oh, sorry, it's being a pain in the butt. Not your fault. This one right here is a conversation with Casey. She's a witness to a situation with another one of the predators that I had to stay with after Natalie was killed. I've also got the evidence to prove it from my end as well. Here's one of the ones from Jamie's son. I put it up as an age restriction, 18 plus, but also it's not set to public. Um, there's so much here. All right, it says search across my channel. Maybe this will help. Here's another one. I'm on my Facebook now. I'm going to try to find one from here to post up here as well. I told the truth, but it didn't matter. And then when I was forced to lie, they wanted to pretend that those lies were the truth. Of course, it's not like I had any other options. I was getting pretty words, but nobody helping in person. Lots of people want to tell me what to do, but I tell them all, if I have to go in person, it doesn't make any difference. I have to try to spend my time evenly between going through evidence, trying to get help, which is what this is. I've made all the calls. When you're called mentally ill, it doesn't work. All right, I'm waiting for it to load up. See posts, and then make it from me. Because if it's mine, then I can show you that video. Natalie Bollinger was my hero for a reason. This is from December 29th of 2017. Let's see if it'll let me copy the video URL. It's not. Copy link. This is from December 29th. This is the day after Natalie disappeared. The one that I just posted up. People wanted to pretend that I was schizophrenic, that I made these things up. Now this one right here, this shows my concern for the neighborhood she was dropped in. I'm not real familiar with the area, but I know people who are familiar with the area. When I found out where she was missing from, I started asking around and found out how scary it really is for a lot of people in that area. All right, you guys let me know if you can hear this one. That was King of Nickels. Well, even if you didn't hear it, on the bright side, at least this is one of the missing persons posts about Natalie. Turned out that was a dummy number. It was the number I had been called from, which is why I gave it to you. Her mom was such a bitch, especially after all they'd put me through. Like, all they needed to do was leave me the fuck alone. There's another one from when Natalie disappeared. All right, this is Mark Swanigan and Sarah Rubio of Spice. You can look both of their names up on Facebook and find them pretty easily. Mark Swanigan was one of the people that I went to for help who was an asshole to me. On the bright side, at least when I got a hold of Sarah, she helped me to try to find Natalie. The 29th, by the way, that was the night that I got to meet Officer Burke. He was supposed to have given me a call prior to that, apparently. How did I find that out? Well, I didn't find it out that night, that's for damn sure. Those cops didn't give a fuck what those people had been putting me through. Not in the least bit. Later on, Officer Burke, just like Officer Lolatai was allowed to go free to another department, so was Officer Burke. Officer Burke was there and present to assault me in the hospital in Longmont. He was also there and present several days earlier when I had attempted to explain to Amanda Jonas and one of her other officers, as well as Officer Burke, standing there looking like a fucking dipshit. When they took me to the hospital and assaulted me and pulled all of that fucking bullshit, there was no reason for any of that fucking to happen. There's no reason. Every time, their tactics are the same. They lie to you. They tell you that they'll take a report when you get where you're going, or they'll take a report when you get to the hospital. And when you get to the hospital, they all disappear. And they say you can make a report when you get out. You need fucking help, and this is what they're doing. Their idea of helping you is to lock you in a room by yourself and ignore you. That's not fucking help. That is sensory deprivation, and it is fucking cruelty. It is against the law. Psychological torture was not the only technique that they used on me. We're gonna put one up here. It's called Jace, Chapel Witness. It's a pretty important one. Let's see. Maybe this will work. People just needed a scapegoat. Police just needed a scapegoat. The Bollinger family, they all needed scapegoat. My family always needed a scapegoat. I was a pretty easy scapegoat. Oh, you're mentally ill. Really? Yeah, you're all mentally ill. You're the ones who are sticking up for child molesters and rapists. You're the ones who are all fucking drug addicts. Drug addicts tell you they love you, but they prove that they don't. It's fucking stupid. I mean, there was so fucking much that went on. So much hell that these people put me through. And then once it's destroyed my ability to, well, to take care of myself. This one's called Violent Natalie. This one is specifically about Natalie. I made it November 26th of 2017. I'd gotten tired of being assaulted for trying to go see my friends. I think this might have been, no, I was going to say, I thought that might have been when I was going to meet with Pierre and he never showed up, but I think that was a lot earlier in the year. Let's play this. Let's see. We'll go to copy link. I'll post it here for you guys to look at later. I hope it'll allow y'all to see live chat later. Sometimes it says live chat is turned off, but I think that's because I'm checking it as far as editing right after I make the video. Because sometimes it won't post immediately unless I put a period at the end. But if I don't check it, I won't know. Now you notice, I want to point out, this is from November 26th of 2017. Natalie is still alive at this point. She's not dead. I told you that one of my videos had like 94,000 views. Guess how many this one got? 94,000 views on a video a month later, but this is a month prior. 162. People wanted an immediate fucking excuse and someone to fucking lynch. But this has been ongoing. This has been over a year of me having to deal with her exes, the people who literally raped her, the people who beat her, stole her dog, held her down and screamed in her face. And I've got these people threatening my life. Natalie's not even fucking dead yet. She is still going to be alive for barely over a month at this point, but she's still alive. I've already been stolen from by Ken and Leah by this point, and Ken has promised that he's going to pay me back December 8th. He just never did. You know, just the fucking stupidest thing. I don't know if you guys can hear any of this. If you can, please say something. I sometimes when I play a video and it's on the same device, it doesn't always uh, record it. I'm hoping that it is. I might have to go back through later, but I see it's at 1 hour 6 minutes and 46 seconds. So I'll check at 1 hour and 7 minutes and see if it worked. If it didn't, then I'll make another video where but I at least post the link. So that's a good start. Now you guys understanding that I'm having people that are threatening me, harassing me, and assaulting me over Natalie. I'm fucking speaking live on fucking Facebook trying to get fucking help at this point. I have gone to my friends and they have all fucking blown me off or been busy telling me how to think and feel. I'm being assaulted and I can't get anyone to even get that far into listening to me because I get halfway through a sentence and they're interrupting me and telling me how to think and how to feel. And then they go off on an hour-long tangent about their stories. And I know you guys hate that I do that here, but nobody listens to me in real life with the intent of actually fucking doing something. You guys can throw money at me. You can take me to fucking therapy appointments. You guys can help me to set that stuff up. But if you don't speak up about it, if you don't admit that those things happened, then the police get to continue to pretend that I'm schizophrenic and never made an effort and that nobody was trying to help me, probably because of the way that I act. No, people were fucking scared shitless of the goddamn cops. Scared shitless. Yep. It's also a meth dealer. Yep. Now, see right there. I explained my fucking motives. Right there. Let's back that shit up. I guess I should back it up a little further, huh? Let's listen to this. Tim Beeson, Ted Bollinger, Matty Boa, Alicia Bollinger. I mean, I'm having to deal with a lot of fucked up shit. These people are all on drugs and they're all preying on the fact that I am disabled and homeless to try to peg me as a mentally ill fucking super psycho stalker serial killer fucking rapist motherfucker. I'm like, hey, just fucking tell the truth. That's all I'm fucking asking for out of any of these son of a bitches. I am fine with them telling what a mean son of a bitch I am. People are fucking dead. You can kiss my ass. People are fucking dead. There are people who I don't even know who are fucking dead over this. Meanwhile, in each and every one of these cases, because I tried to turn in the police in those jurisdictions in specific for their treatment of me, their assumption of my guilt and their cruelty towards me, specifically at places like Clearview. Officers like Waylon Lolatai, officers like Burke, officers whose names I was not allowed to have. They went out of their way to slander my name to the public, and they also went out of their way to prevent me from defending myself to the public until they were thoroughly fucking certain that my voice was fucking dead, that nobody was going to listen to me, and that the public was going to help out as much as possible. You fucking slam me as a fucking murderer, as a fucking rapist, as a fucking child molester, as a fucking person who assaults the fucking cops. You pretend that I'm fucking schizophrenic, and you use that as your excuse every fucking step of the way. And each and every one of these people who told me that they would help, all of these people whose conversations that I recorded with them saying that they were gonna help, my predators were busy every fucking day. Every day, my predators were busy. While my friends didn't have time. While Brandon Ratner, in 3 years, still doesn't fucking seem to get it. I'm not allowed to be angry at him, am I? He's rescuing women again. I get that. Fine, rescue women. That's okay. He says, you know, I'm equal opportunity. No, he's not. No, the fuck he's not. I'm not asking for a goddamn week-long chaperone way the fuck back then. What was I asking for? For him to fucking go forward with me to tell the fucking truth. For somebody to go in with me to talk to the police so I had a fucking witness. So the police couldn't turn off their body cameras. If I'd have been able to record that shit, I fucking would have. I needed fucking help. I don't know how many times I've gone through and collected these videos. There are literally hundreds of conversations with fucking witnesses. Hundreds! Hundreds! Conversations with officers like Abel Ramos. When they prevent me from trying, no matter what their fucking excuse is, they did wrong. When they say, oh, that's not my fault, the kiosks are down, I'm like, the kiosks are always fucking down. Give me a fucking paper writ so that I can write it down and have a copy for myself. Then they're like, well, we're not going to accept those. You have to do it on the kiosk. Kiosk will only accept 3 of them at a time. Meanwhile, no matter what you type, they've got an excuse. They don't investigate shit. They just give you fucking excuses. Meanwhile, the jails refuse to allow you someone there when you're assaulted by the fucking guards. I wrote 11 fucking letters out from that place, only got 1 fucking reply. Not one officer or investigator did a goddamn thing. And now I got to deal with predatory officers, and they are predatory. They're working for this sheriff. They have to do what the fucking sheriff tells them. You get to hear each and every one of them and all the conversations that we've had making fucking excuses. And then they say, well, it's not my fault. Did I say it was your fault? Now it is your fault. Now it is your fault that it is continuing because you're being an asshole, and instead of listening and doing your fucking job, you're telling me it's not your fucking fault. How am I supposed to fucking trust you when you are playing the fucking retard? If you're that fucking stupid, you should not be a police officer. You should be in a fucking home. You should be wearing a fucking football helmet in a fucking rubber room. Like people keep treating me like I should be in. I am angry about the right goddamn things, you son of a bitches. You expect me to contribute to your society, but your society ain't done nothing but abuse me and tell me I deserve it. You tell me that I gotta try it the legal way. The legal way requires a lot of fucking money that I don't fucking have. And it also requires that the witnesses actually fucking come forward. These assholes want to be shitty to me because a year after these people and all of their fucking bullshit fucking excuses started, I recorded conversations with them, the things they should have come forward with, the things that they should have come forward with to the public, the things they should have especially come forward with in a court of fucking law. When I said it wasn't my predators who made me wish I was dead, it was my friends, I meant it. They were too busy with their own goddamn assumptions and their own spoiled fucking lives. The shit that they bitched at me about is so fucking goddamn trivial by comparison. Like a spoiled rich girl complaining that she didn't get a pony for her 11th birthday. I'm not sorry. I didn't get shit for my 11th birthday. Oh, it's restricted number again. More fucking harassment from the fucking bitch brigade. Oh, hung up already. Holy shit. And guess what? It's a restricted number again. All of this stuff that I'm hallucinating. Yo, I must be. I must be hallucinating fucking days and days and days and days and fucking days of this shit on end. I mean, holy hell. Bunch of fucking restricted. See, that's just a whole fucking row of them. Oh, restricted calling again. Imagine that. I can't trust the police. I need someone to go in with me. I need someone to actually take the time to find out what the fuck is going on, though. Otherwise, you're just gonna sit there and look stupid. You have no fucking clue what's going on. Restricted again. Still calling. My predators can do whatever they want to me. I don't have a family that gives a shit. That makes things complicated. I'm not a child molester or a drug dealer, so I don't have much in common with my family. Right? Like, holy fuck. Now, let me explain that to you. All through school, and this is, of course, me assuming that you can hear what it's saying while I'm pressing the play button. We'll go back just a little bit. Now let's take a look at this situation. Let's look at the people who are the meanest to me. Take a look at them. Are they pretty? Yeah, they are. They're very pretty. They did the meanest things and spoke the fucking worst lies. And those just happen to be what lies? The ones that people are still victimizing me over. Because somebody who was pretty said it. Wasn't even the pretty person I was supposed to have fucking done it to. Holy Christ. This is public, by the way. You guys can see this. Most of us are homeless. And that's true. If you look at American society, any part of it, look at the popularity of Chapel, Nebraska. All right. Look at the popularity in any school in America. You've got the good looking fucking kids, and they're all one big fucking group. They'll bully you as a group, they'll harass you as a group. And then you got all the nerds that just don't want the hassle. Like, yeah, you're getting bullied every day, and they're getting bullied every day. But your excuse for not doing anything about the bullies, which is what the issue is that you don't want to get involved. You're already involved. My bullies are already bullying you, buddy. You don't want to work together because you still, deep down, you want these pretty people to fucking love you. And no, they're not going to fucking love you, dude. Those pretty girls, most of them who are nice to you, it's because they know what kind of a fucking crowd they're hanging out in, and they need somebody who's fucking desperate enough to rescue them. Somebody they can bat their pretty eyes at. The problem with me is that batting your pretty eyes doesn't fucking work. It doesn't work. You know what works with me? Asking for help. When Mandy Hughes' son was missing, all she had to do was ask for help. That was right before Natalie was fucking killed. One of the 3 videos that I posted up that day was Mandy Singer's fucking son. And then when Mandy got beaten up by Joseph, I fucking did everything I could, even though I couldn't even be in the state of fucking Colorado by then. I did everything that I fucking could to try to get her everything that she needed once she got to Colorado, because she was showing up in the fucking winter. She was going from Arizona, where it's like 96 degrees on a cold fucking day, and she's going to Boulder, fucking Colorado. Like, yeah, I made sure I got a hold of everybody that I could to try to get her a fucking ride and some fucking blankets and some fucking winter clothes. It's the same when you're an adult. They tell you to go tell somebody, but why? Why fucking bother? It just makes it worse, right? Isn't that the moral of the fucking story? If you're pretty and you're annoyed by a dork, it's okay to destroy his whole fucking life. He's not allowed to defend himself, so it makes it oh fucking K, doesn't it? There's a lot more. A whole lot more. I told you I wasn't full of shit. That's just a little bit. That's just conversations. That's not even getting into the thousands of screenshots. That's not getting into the hundreds upon hundreds of court documents. And that's not getting into any of the evidence that was destroyed or lost or fucking stolen. Just wait till I start posting shit up from the trip to Washington State. All the people there that work there at the mall know what the fuck is going on. All of them.